Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Want to know what Teepa's dream is? Help us reach 30K in 30 days for Teepa's nonprofit Snow Approach Foundation, located in Hillsborough, North Carolina. Visit GoFundMe.com and search for Snow Approach, or go to teepasnow.info/30 days.
Hello and welcome to Teepa Snow's Dementia Care Partners podcast. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, and to start our program off today, Teepa, I'd like to send out a big thank you to Valerie for her latest survey for topics for our program. She had over 170 responses, which is pretty phenomenal. So if we don't get to your question today, which is pretty likely, please be patient. Our first one comes as tips from a person living with dementia. And this will sound very familiar to you. No intros, no long stories, no complex sentences, no interrupting us, but we can interrupt regulars at any point. Please don't ask if I remember. Don't ask me about unimportant stuff. Don't ask me to rehire my assistant who researches my files for memories. What did you do today? If multiple conversations are going on, that's fine, but you'll see me putting on my headphones. Speak at a pace that doesn't sound like the cops are chasing you. Child talk, and I'll fake that I don't know you. Be funny, maudlin stuff, and you'll be escorted out. So it's very thoughtful, and I can see all of those.
Yeah, that came from a really good friend, Dixon, Dallas Dixon, and he really, I mean, he's a really cool guy in that he used to be a very top-notch legal lawyer, go after him kind of guy. And with the advent of his dementia, he's come to live life differently. And yeah, but true to form, I mean, he's going to read you the riot act of what you should be doing. But I mean, he's accurate. I mean, the kind of things he's suggesting are the kind of things we sort of recommend. But I mean, he's doing it from the perspective of actually living with his dementia and saying, like when you guys do like long stuff, I'm gone. So, like wasting your time. Or, don't you remember, which is one of our like big forbidden phrases. And, like being sad, like if I'm not sad, why be sad? I don't need you to mourn me or grieve me. I'm right here. Like, if you want to do that, go away and go do it. And, let's have some fun if we can. And, let's be respectful, sort of bottom line.
Well, could we examine a couple of these ones? Because he says definitely no long stories, and then please don't ask me about unimportant stuff. So let's combine those two. Do we as North Americans tend to ramble too much when we're telling, like I'm doing right now?
So, Greg, you're wanting to know if if I go on and on and on and I give you this and then I give you that and then I share this and I say all that, is it going to make you more likely to want to be in conversation with me, or am I lecturing you?
Well, there are those people that you carefully extract yourself from any group conversation with. And so is that what he's sort of getting at? Just.
Yeah, so it's much more comfortable to do short back and forths than it is to listen to someone and try to follow their theme, follow their phrasing, follow their message, follow the storyline. Because, one of the challenges, at least for many people living with dementia, is holding on to what was just said 3 sentences before you said this, so that I would be able to respond to you, like what I just did, way too many at a time. So I said, hey, Greg, I have a question for you. When I went to school, we had blackboards. And you?
Yes.
Yeah, you too. You had blackboards too? So
But they were green. That's
they were green.
green.
Oh, huh. No, ours were black. Ours were definitely black. Huh. Now, when we wrote on them, you used was it chalk or something else?
I'm pretty sure it was chalk. I was just thinking back to we didn't have slates. That was even before me.
That was before. Yeah, but I do remember like yellow and white chalk. Does that sound familiar? Those
Right.
are the two.
I remember white. I don't remember other colors. White.
I think I remember yellow. You know what I do remember? There was this holder that had 5 things where you could make, I think it was 5 or maybe 3, where you could make the lines across and then for musical, for putting up music. I think I remember that. Does
So,
that,
so you're taking a conversation and sort of not trying to cram everything into once because my mind is not going to process all of that. Like if you rambled that all together, I think his exact words were, "You'll see me putting on headphones, or speak at a pace that sounds like the cops are chasing you, and I'll fake that I don't know you." He could have any one of a number of
exactly.
excuses to avoid.
Yeah. And it wouldn't really be a conversation. It'd be a one-way ticket. And what he's saying is out the door. So if I do want to engage you, when I started, you were really pretty slow and minimal to respond. But that didn't mean you weren't paying attention. It meant that assistant he talked about, he doesn't have her anymore, that research assistant that would go look in the files and everything. So he was having to go find files and look at them. And so where I said, it was a black, I think it was black or gray. And you said green. That was just a single word, but that told me everything. Like, yeah, we were in conversation. We were actually, and what it meant was, wow, Teepa, you got to keep it slow. And you may need to use visual cues in addition to what you're doing. I mean, it may not be. And if you have background noise, that may be disruptive,
Background noise in a facility? Come on, what are you talking about?
No, what are you talking about? Overhead speaking. That kind of thing can really disrupt what's happening. And I may have to pause, I may have to wait, and I may have to make accommodation. Because if my goal is to have a conversation, then I better check on my partner and see whether they're with me or they're not.
So what he said was very sort of standard to us. We
Mhm.
understand the reasoning behind this. The one that he missed that I see quite often myself and you've seen is where people are talking over the person living with
Oh,
dementia.
yeah.
Inanimate object, sitting there. And so I'm surprised that one wasn't on his list. But then,
Yeah.
his assistant didn't put it on the list.
Yeah, or I might say Greg would immediately tune you out or leave. Or not Greg, Dallas. Dallas would probably tune you out or leave. Greg would too. That's the reality of it. Just like, yeah, Greg would do the same thing. So I think, that might have been a subset under something, whereas for you and I, it's like, ooh, this is unacceptable. For many people living with, it's such a part of life that you don't even notice it anymore, which is a sad commentary from my perspective. But like, well, yeah, you expect that. And it's like, so having that conversation, be put my headphones on, that's how I deal with you. And it's like, yikes, because that says you're not part of our community anymore, really.
I think I've heard you say, know your person, know your person, know your person before, haven't I?
Mm.
Because some people, you can walk them in and there's a birthday party and they can mingle with other people. And it's quite clear here that unless he's engaging with one person one on one at a comfortable pace, it's just not going to go well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, could that be a little bit of Greg's Teepa, what have you got on your mind? Could it be a bit of Dallas's history of being a lawyer, of getting people's attention and having not really a conversation? He delivered information, but when he was doing a cross-examination or he was talking to a witness, it was one-on-one and it was really intense. So for him being social and doing chit chat and that kind of crap, that's what he said. Don't do that to me. I don't do it. And it's like, as long as I've known Dallas, I don't think he's ever done that. So I don't think it's new. I think that's just Dallas. But now with a little extra sauce there. So he's a little saucier about it. And, like 8 years ago, I don't think he would have written that. I think he's gotten far enough along in where he's living to say, here's the deal. If you want to do this, here's what it looks like. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, but don't expect me to be there, you know?
That's the underlying lawyer. He's going to prepare a brief. Here it is. Live with it or don't. That's my offer.
That's right. And I'm not the judge of you. If that's what you want to do, the judge will tell you I'm out. But as a participant, I'm either in or I'm out. Did you want me to participate, or were you just assuming I would participate? Don't make an assumption. Assess the situation and decide, am I in or am I out? And if you're out, fine. So am I.
So, Teepa, you do so many things naturally that people sort of go, well, how can I learn that? Because you wouldn't think that you would necessarily have to be told how to have conversations with your loved one or loved ones. You wouldn't think that, but apparently we do.
Apparently, it helps. Apparently, lots of people need some skill building. They need awareness of why. Many people need to know why. Why is it you can't do that? Why is it that this is so frustrating? Why is Dallas coming up with this stuff? And the answer is, oh, well, let me show you. Let's figure it out so that you operate with awareness and knowledge and build your skill, because it's not something that you would automatically do. Evidently, it's not common practice. And that's why we can't count on being common sense. So that's why Dallas came up with this, but that's why we do champion courses, we do webinars, we have brief clips available online, we have consultants, we have people who train, because we know this isn't as easy as we might think it is to transform habits of a lifetime.
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. For more information, look up teepasnow.com.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.